And welcome back to the playthrough for those of you who have continued onward. As per the end of the last session, I have two quests to be working on. One is basically a side quest, I guess, to get a healing potion for Daryl so that Rupert and I can go back to look for Daryl and Myvan. And then the main quest, Victor gave me directions to find Kurt's home. Kurt being Yorn and my uncle. But as usual in these games, not just these games, but really all games in general, my instinct is always to go off and do as much exploration and side content as possible before advancing the main quest. Because that way, you kind of, the more stuff you do before the main quest, the stronger you feel, the more prepared you are, and the better sense of progression and satisfaction you get from that. So I am probably not going to be as hardcore about doing everything possible before advancing the main quest on this playthrough, but for now, the thing that makes the most sense to me is just to kind of explore the town a little bit, talk to people, learn more about what's going on, get some more equipment, and so on. So this guy being an unnamed farmer means he probably has just generic dialogue.
Co powinienem wiedzieć o Silbach?
W Silbach żyjemy z tego, co sami wyhodujemy. W razie problemów nie mamy co liczyć na pomoc ze strony miasta. W sumie, może to i lepiej. Cieszę się, że nie ma tutaj strażników dyktujących, co wolno, a czego nie.
Co powinien...
W Silbach żyjemy z tego, co sami... W sumie,
Czyje zdanie się tutaj liczy?
Bastiana i Marty. Jeśli sprawisz im jakieś problemy, to do karczmy przez kilka dni nie wejdziesz. No i będziesz musiał jeszcze zapłacić grzywnę u Albyna. Z tą trójką bym nie zadzierał.
Co słychać?
Jest ciężko. Ostatnie podtopienia dały nam się we wznaki, ale ciągle się trzymamy. Przecież nie pokona nas byle deszcz.
Good to know. There's a whole bunch of characters in this little courtyard area, which has, I forget what these are called, stockades or whatever, where you would put someone's head and arms in there as a public humiliation punishment thing, and then you throw tomatoes and rotten vegetables at them.
Ej, ty,
Hey, you. How are you?
jak leci?
Nie zawracaj mi głowy. Mam ważne obowiązki na głowie.
Do your important responsibilities include just swinging a sword around?
Jak leci?
Nie zawracaj mi.
Mógłbyś mnie podszkolić?
Ciebie? Mam trenować mieszkańców wioski, a nie obcych. Znajdź sobie kogoś innego.
Na pewno jest coś, co zmieni twoje zdanie.
Owszem, złoto. Jego nigdy nie za dużo. Jak mi go trochę przyniesiesz, to pogadamy o twoim szkoleniu.
Alright. He wants money. I've got 69. I could afford to pay him, but I will have a decision to make as to... Oh, I'm pretty close to another level up. But I have some decisions to make about how to build my character. Between, like, one-handed, two-handed, or bow and crossbow. As I remember, magic is not really an official guild or character class in this game. It's like you can learn some spells, but it's pretty limited, and the create scrolls thing there in the bottom kind of, I remember having to learn how to make some of those, so it's not really a full mage playstyle. But usually with these games, I always like to play start as a one-handed fighter and then switch to two-handed later, because the melee combat is just much more fun to me than any ranged options where you just lock on and press forward to auto-shoot and auto-target stuff. But normally I like the two-handed stuff just because I like having big weapons to throw around at everyone. But I may stick with a one-handed playthrough for this for this one, but currently I'm using the skeleton leg, which is a two-handed weapon. So maybe I'll hold off on learning training for a little bit until I can get a better idea of what weaponry I might want to use.
Kolejna przybłęda. Pewnie zwabił cię tu zapach pysznego chleba, co? Jeśli nie zamierzasz niczego kupić, to nawet nie zawracaj mi głowy.
Who are you?
Kim jesteś?
Jestem Paola i pracuję jako piekarz. Na całym Archolos nie znajdziesz tak pysznego chleba jak u mnie.
What makes your bread so delicious? Also, show me your goods.
Pokaż mi swoje towary.
Well, he does have bread. And grape tart. Country apple pie. And he's got a recipe for it. I could buy that for $5. I'll probably want to buy it at some point. What I remember from the first time I played the first chapter of this game 3 whole years ago, which even that is kind of alarming to me to realize that, you know, 3 years, 2022, it doesn't feel like that was 3 years ago. Because to me, it feels like 2022 was just yesterday, but I remember like being kind of annoyed with the cooking in this game because there's hundreds of recipes and you're incentivized to cook everything possible because you get permanent health bonuses for eating more variety of items versus just cooking raw meat the whole time. And like I think there's a chef or a supply clerk or somebody in the governor's mansion, I think, which is this thing straight ahead, who gives you money or experience for giving them more recipes. So the game really wants you to dig into the crafting system for cooking, and I don't personally find that very engaging gameplay.
Widzisz, to nie było takie trudne.
Oh, this guy kind of ran over here awkwardly.
Ile razy mam wam powtarzać, żebyście nie włazili do mojej stodoły?
To twoja stodoła?
Tak, tak. To jest moja stodoła. Jestem jej jedynym właścicielem. No, a przynajmniej od czasu, kiedy dobry pan Ramsey dał mi prawo do zarządzania nią.
Mogę zajrzeć do środka, o jaśnie królu?
Nie zgadzam się. Nie wpuszczam do stodoły byle kogo.
This guy, the voice actor is, it sounds to me like he's giving, oh god.
Mówię po raz ostatni. No odejdź.
Is he gonna fight me? He's giving like a very sort of crazed performance as far as what I can tell, not knowing Polish, but just the tone of his voice. Like lighting gets a little bit wonky here. Alright.
To jest prywatny warsztat.
O,
Czego
stone.
tu szukasz?
Jestem tu od niedawna i zwiedzam okolice.
Jeśli już musisz, to rób to w taki sposób, żeby nie przeszkadzać innym w pracy.
I think this is the old camp blacksmith from Gothic 1, if I'm remembering that right. He ends up imprisoned in the dungeons after the old camp closes down and murders the fire mages or whatever. Spoiler alert for Gothic 1. It's too late now. How are you?
Co słychać?
Torsten to dobry nauczyciel, ale ma staroświeckie metody pracy w kuźni. Tylko zachowaj to dla siebie, bo jeszcze dostanę od niego po łbie.
Who are you?
Kim jesteś?
Nazywam się Stone i pracuję tu pod okiem mojego mistrza, Torstena. Jak widzisz, mam pełne ręce roboty, więc jeśli to wszystko, to wiesz, gdzie jest wyjście.
Mógłbyś podszkolić mnie w kowalstwie?
Idź do miasta, jeśli szukasz nauczyciela. Tutaj ludzie są zarobieni pracą i ze mną nie jest inaczej. Jeśli do jutra nie skończę tych gwoździ, Torsten będzie wściekły.
Co
Słyszałem o pewnej ogromnej hucie, wybudowanej we wnętrzu góry. Pewnie już dawno spłonęła w wyniku rebelii.
Co słychać?
Dawno nie mieliśmy dostawy węgla. Mam nadzieję, że to nie sprawka bandytów.
Co słychać?
Torsten to dobry nauczyciel, ale tylko za... Swoją drogą, jeśli chcesz, to za parę monet mogę ci pokazać, jak stać się silniejszym.
He doesn't have the time to teach me smithing, but he can teach me strength training. How much does he
Chcę
want?
być silniejszy.
15 gold for 5.
Jeszcze trochę treningu przed tobą.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of training, in fact, because I have no training.
Czym?
I don't even have the right item. That's fine. How about the shepherd man?
Kolego, nie widziałeś może barana?
A ram? No.
Niestety nie.
Cholera, mój brus gdzieś zniknął i długo nie wraca. Mógłbyś się za nim rozejrzeć? Zaczynam się naprawdę niepokoić.
That sounds like a quest. And once again, I can access the quest log from the dialogue, which is pretty neat. He asked me to look for him. Easy peasy. What's the ram look like?
Jak on wygląda?
Jak owca, tylko ma rogi. Jedyne co go wyróżnia to ten ogromny apetyt. Brus zawsze tarzał się w śmieciach i zjadał wszystko, co wpadnie mu pod nos. Parę dni temu zjadł nawet klucz do mojego kufra.
Jak leci?
Tęsknię za Brusem. Nie widziałeś go może?
Nie.
Na pewno wkrótce wróci.
Is this guy stuttering? Am I hearing that right?
Jak leci?
Tęsknię za Brusem. Nie widziałeś go może?
Nie.
Na pewno wkrótce wróci.
Is that supposed to be a emotional state of him being distraught because Bruce is missing? And the description of Bruce is that he likes to roll around in garbage and eat everything. So does that mean that I'm looking for a fat ram? Or I'm just looking for garbage heaps? Oh. What? The fence is broken, but I don't see any tracks of the missing ram. I should tell the shepherd about it. I did hear some lurkers. I'm not gonna fight that right now. Hey you. Oh. Hey you.
Masz uszkodzony płot.
Nie miałeś oglądać płotu, a szukać mojego barana.
A co jeśli twój baran zeskoczył na dół?
Między topielce i inne potwory? Mój Brus nie jest głupi. Poszedł pewnie w inną stronę.
And see, like right there, I got real distracted by the music getting so loud that I kind of stopped really reading the dialogue. The music is good, but I just wish this track would be balanced a little better with less dynamic range. Because it is just distracting when it gets so loud like that. I wonder if I can jump onto here. Quick saves in case I fall to my death. Oh, I thought I was going to climb on top of the railing to get a better vantage point, but I guess not. Rupert is talking to Thorsten. And I got no dialogue with Rupert.
Tak, tak, niech zgadnę. Bastianowi znowu poluzowała się obręcz w beczce. Stary Thorsten wszystko zreperuje, rzecz jasna po odpowiedniej cenie.
Kim jesteś?
Nazywam się Torsten. Jestem jedynym kowalem w tej wiosce.
Kujesz broń?
Tylko jeśli muszę, jeśli stawka jest wysoka. Wolę robić narzędzia. Są prostsze i bardziej potrzebne. Co nie zmienia faktu, że mam na stanie kilka ostrzy i toporów. Może coś cię zainteresuje. Jeśli jednak szukasz kogoś, kto wykuje ci porządną klingę, pogadaj z Odgarem. Ma pracownię w mieście. To prawdziwy mistrz w swoim fachu.
I'm a long way off from getting to the city. Show me your goods.
Pokaż mi, co masz na stanie.
Oh, he's got a lot of weapons in stock. Look at that. He's got crafting blueprints for assorted weapons. Now, my vague memory of this is that you can get a pretty decent weapon out of these. Like 30 dexterity for 50 edge damage. And I don't remember if this game has a similar damage formula as the other games where strength gets added to your damage as a base value or on crit or vice versa or whatever. So like traditionally dexterity is kind of a good way to get high damage for a lower stat investment, but it tends to fall off towards the end game when your stats get higher and higher and you're able to put more strength in. But like a fine short sword does 50 damage for 25 strength, which is a reasonable amount of damage compared to some of these other things. And if I knew what the materials would be, I could probably buy this and make it for relatively cheap. Of course, I would need to learn blacksmithing.
Co słychać?
Coraz więcej osób trafia na wyspę. Jeśli jest to zwiastun nadciągającej wojny, to chyba najwyższy czas pakować manatki.
Co słychać?
Coraz więcej osób.
He doesn't have repeating dialogue. Or alternating lines.
Tak z ciekawości, skąd pozyskujesz materiały do pracy? Wypalasz je w piecu, czy skądś sprowadzasz?
To zależy, o jakich materiałach mówisz. Węgiel skupuję od Helmuda na wschodzie wyspy. Powstałą z niego surówkę wypalam w piecu albo jednorazowo w dymarkach. Widzę, że masz jakieś pojęcie o robieniu w kuźni.
Kiedyś pomagałem ojcu przy pracy, ale to stare dzieje. Wiele zdążyłem już zapomnieć.
Kowalstwo to sztuka, której się nie zapomina. Podobnie jak cięcie drewna czy oprawianie zwierzyny. Masz wokół ten sam błysk, który kiedyś widziałem u mojego ucznia. Gdybyś chciał, mógłbym spróbować coś z ciebie wykrzesać.
Sam pracujesz w tej kuźni?
Od paru lat pomaga mi Stone, mój czeladnik. Chłopak jest bystry i szybko się uczy, ale przed nim jeszcze sporo pracy. Ja jestem tu po to, żeby wyszedł na ludzi, tak jak jego ojciec.
Możesz mnie czegoś nauczyć?
Tak, ale jeśli mam poświęcać czas takiemu żółtodziobowi, to muszę coś na tym zyskać. Zapłać, a nauczę cię podstaw kowalstwa.
150. Oh my goodness. We'll come back to that later. There's a knife that I can take. I think I already have just a basic knife. Is there... Ooh, there's a small quiver of bolts over there. But it looks like all I can do at the workshop is just make ammunition. I don't know if that'll change at any point in the future if I learn more skills. Oh. Hey, there's a training crossbow. That needs 10 strength and it does 20 damage. And I have 0 bolts, so I could make I don't know, if it was 3 bolts per stick. I could possibly make up to 12 bolts. am not drawing a crossbow. Is that because I don't have bolts to draw? They won't let me draw it if I don't have ammo for it? Now let's see, like, are these guys... Oh, well, he's looking at me right now, so I'll probably come running. Oh, there's a person in here. I was testing, like, the private property-ness of this place.
Czym się zajmujesz?
Uwe.
Jestem wioskowym cieślą. Nazywam się Uwe. Obróbka drewna nie ma przede mną tajemnic, z czego chętnie korzystają wszyscy mieszkańcy Silbach, a ja chętnie odpowiadam na ich prośby.
Show me your goods.
Pokaż mi swoje towary.
Got a woodcutter's axe used for tree felling. I guess I need that as a tool. And I can buy sticks to make ammo from.
Jak leci?
Czym więcej obcych na wyspie, tym gorzej. Nie, żebym im nie współczuł utraty domu, ale Archolos nie pomieści wszystkich mieszkańców archipelagu.
Jak leci?
Czym więcej obcych na wyspie, tym gorzej.
Okay. So I seem to recall that there are fallen trees that you can chop up with an axe to get, I don't know, heavy branches or something out of it, but it must be getting late in the day, judging by everyone kind of crowding around the inn here. Let's see if there are many new people to talk to. How are you?
Jak leci?
A gdyby tak rzucić wszystko w cholerę i wypłynąć na Korinis? Pytanie brzmi, skąd miałbym wytrzasnąć tyle gorzałki na tak długą podróż?
Jak leci?
Ostatnio doszedłem do zaskakującego wniosku. Alkohol działa jak magia, tylko jest od niej bezpieczniejszy. Pijesz, pijesz, pijesz i w końcu o wszystkim zapominasz.
Jak leci?
A gdyby tak rzucić wszystko w
There's a person going up into the warehouse. Have you seen a ram?
Nie widziałeś może barana? Tutejszy pasterz jednego zgubił.
Spadaj!
Alright, that makes me question now if I have to talk to everyone else about rams. So what, are generic farmers, do they, sleep in here? Like, what's going on? No one is yelling. Oh, here he is.
Co ty tam robisz?
I could have.
Mądra decyzja.
I was remembering that there's like some degree of private property that folks get upset about in here.
Co ty tam robisz?
Hello. Look at that, though. There's some potions. So that's definitely what I'm expected to grab for the quest. Oh. So if I were to be like really exploity, I could, you know, run into that other room and then run over here and quickly grab the potion.
Nie jesteś wcale taki głupi, na jakiego wyglądasz.
But I'll hold off on that. Let's see if there's not a more thematically appropriate way to get it. Like if you go in at night with a sneak skill or something. Have you seen a ram?
Nie widziałeś może barana? Tutejszy pasterz jednego zgubił.
Ostatnio widziałem takiego ciemnego barana chodzącego samopas.
Dokąd poszedł?
Wydaje mi się, że chyba za karczmę.
Okay. Did anyone else have any info? Where is Paolo? Who is this bakerman? Paolo seems to have wandered off. How about you, Mr. Warehouse King? You don't know anything. Stone didn't give me an option. Thorsten and Rupert didn't either. Oh, there's a mushroom. Mushroom. And, his strumming on the lute matches the tempo of the song. That's kind of cool. Paula.
Hej, ty!
Hey, you seen a ram anywhere? No. But by golly, there's a lot of people in here. So many people. Who are you?
Co słychać?
Chcesz w łeb, czy w końcu sobie stąd pójdziesz?
Alright, I'm not even gonna bother. Anybody new? Sunder was upstairs, if I remember right.
Co tutaj robisz?
Daj mi spokój. Zajęty jestem.
He's wearing, like a guild armor, I think, for maybe the Araxos Trading Guild or something like that. So he might be a member of one of the factions I can join later in the game. Alright, none of these guys look like they're, new characters. At least none of them appear to be new and also have a unique name tag to indicate that they would have special dialogue. So I'll just carry on. There's like some degree of trash here. Let's see if this drinking man has seen any rams.
Hej, ty!
Nie widzisz, że coś robię? Spadaj!
Oh, that was very rude.
Hej!
Nie widzisz, że...
So I guess he hasn't seen a ram, or if he has, he's not gonna tell me about it.
Czym?
I need a spoon for the cauldron. I saw no obvious signs of a ram behind the inn. That very rude gentleman might have been possibly knowledgeable, but he did not have any info to share with me. Can you jump, please? Thank you. I suppose there's probably more trash heaps in this little fishing village area. Oh god. Goodness. It's probably gonna be in a trash heap like in that village area behind the inn. God. I am also not readily seeing any loot up here, so let's see if I can get down from here without breaking my neck. Okay. I guess everyone is done drinking for the night. Time to go back to their personal lodgings. Roscoe, and was that the Rude Farmer? There's a stick. And some arrows. Is someone vomiting? Like, oh, there is someone vomiting. It's Roscoe. How you doing?
Jak leci?
Ostatnio doszedłem do alkohol.
Yeah, drinking all your troubles and memories away. This guy's looking at me all suspiciously. I think this right in front of me might be Kurt's hut. So if I wanted to advance the main quest, this might be where I have to go. But really, I'm trying to find a ram. His name is Bruce. See how well I can fight a lurker with a skeleton leg. Oh, there's like a lot of them. At least 3, and then there's a field raider. Okay, they hit pretty hard. Really hard. And I'm like doing really bad with the controls right now. The untrained combat animations they do not swing very fast. They're very easy to mistime. So I may not really be in a good position to fight one lurker, let alone 3 in a row. Especially because, like, I'm getting locked into... I'm trying to backstep after striking, and I keep getting locked into blocking instead of backstepping. I guess you don't block enemies or monster damage in Gothic 2 or this one, so if you're getting stuck blocking instead of... Yeah, see, I'm using the Gothic 1 style combat controls. I've got action forward, and then I release the action button and press back, and I go into a block instead of a back step. And it does it with one-handers as well. Maybe I'll try with a knife. Because this has a little bit faster animations, I might be able to do this easier. Though it should have a lot less range. That hit pretty close, or pretty far, I should say. Yeah, let's not go toe-to-toe with it. Back up. I'm about to die. Yeah, man. That actually didn't go too badly, though. Maybe I'll give it one more try. Run away!
Nic tu nie ma.
Nothing to plunder. Well, I killed one lurker. Hey, is that Bruce?
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
Brucey. Now the next question is the shepherd man going to be at his residence,
Hej, ty.
or will he have wandered off somewhere?
Cześć. Baranie.
His name is Bruce.
Chodź ze mną.
Bah. Come here, you. Thought I saw a mushroom over here, but it was a pouch, which might have money in it. Come on.
Kto opowiada takie rzeczy?
O, niech mnie. Znalazłeś Brusa. Dziękuję ci. Chyba zacznę zamykać zagrodę na noc. Proszę, wypij za nasze zdrowie.
Maybe also get your fence fixed.
Pohandlujmy.
Pewnie, nie ma sprawy.
Show me your goods. Hearty leftover broth, country scrambled eggs, pate from leftovers, roasted insects. Can I make better dishes from meat bugs with that? With my one hunk of bug meat? I'll come back for that later.
Moje bara...
So yep, here's your busted fence. Should probably get that fixed. Now Stone is done working. He's just gonna stand around and drink. These two are still talking. And let's see, there's a guy there. I hope he's sorting goods and not like pillaging goods. Because I'm supposed to be the one pillaging. I actually wonder. Can you do the jump sneak skill? Oh, he conveniently turned around.
Mądra decyzja.
Or he knew that I was in the room. But at least in Gothic 1, I think in Gothic 2, you can do this to skip the sneak skill. They don't know that you're here until you move. So for instance, right there, as soon as I walked forward, he knew I was there.
Mądra decyzja.
So that's probably the... Yeah, go away.
Mądra decyzja.
Go back to your standard thing so I can exploit the game. I guess officially there's a...
Co ty tam robisz?
Hey, what? No. Stop looking
Mądra
at me.
decyzja.
There's supposed to be, I think, like a hunter somewhere, probably, that I could learn the sneak skill from.
Co ty tam robisz?
And all of a sudden, these guys are finding
Mądra
me.
decyzja.
Why are they doing that?
Mądra decyzja.
Nie jesteś wcale taki głupi, na jakiego wyglądasz.
Co ty tam robisz?
Like, it worked the first time, and now it just doesn't work. I don't understand it.
Na jakiego wyglądasz.
What am I doing wrong? It was like it was flawless. It worked exactly as I expected it to. And now everyone's noticing me all the time.
Co ty tam robisz?
See, like, I guess the top
Mądra
landing
decyzja.
is considered private property or whatever.
Co ty tam robisz?
Alright,
Mądra
fine.
decyzja.
I don't understand why it worked the first time, and then every subsequent attempt thereafter, it kept getting me caught. So instead, I'm gonna go sleep in my bed if the game will let me, so I can pass some time. And heal up a little bit in the process.
Odłóż broń! No proszę, jednak można!
I wonder, can I light this torch? Maybe? Not really. Small quiver of bolts. Well, it's got 10 bolts. Nice round 100 gold. So now that I have bolts, I can press 2 and draw my crossbow.
Bez właściwego klucza nigdy
I'll
tego nie
never get
otworzę.
this open without the right key. So I'm picking weeds. Are these just... an inedible and worthless plant, no use for it. I think these are for a quest, like you're supposed to, at some point, prune the cemetery of weeds. A sharpened stick. Is that a weapon? It is. I can poke people with the stick. Do I spy a king's sorrel? Very nice. So I'm probably supposed to be picking the weeds, but I think I will wait until I get the official quest to do so. This door is probably locked, isn't it?
Bez właściwego klucza nigdy tego nie otworzę.
Oh, this might be an alchemist. Lokvar? I don't suppose he'll teach me how to brew a potion, will he? Did not anticipate a rat being here.
Jedna cholerna bestia mniej.
Okay.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
Nothing to be had. Alright, now hold up. I have a healing potion, right? Does it matter what type of potion? Or where I get it from? %20 health restoration. You appear to be a magician.
Czym?
I don't have a feather
Czym?
or a lab water bottle
Nie znam się na otwieraniu
or the
zamków.
skill to pick locks, but I can read a book stand and gain 100 XP. Alchemy is divided into 3 levels. While the first one could be learned from books, a good teacher will be needed for the next ones. Each of the levels allows you to produce more powerful potions. At the beginner level, you can get simple healing decoctions, blue elder extracts, and short-lasting speed potions. At the advanced level, basic and advanced healing decoctions, potions temporarily enhancing the abilities, and long-lasting speed potions. And then finally, at master level, you can get powerful healing decoctions and potions permanently enhancing abilities. Along with learning the next levels, master passes on the knowledge of healing potions, but acquiring more complex recipes is up to the apprentice. An experienced alchemist can also extract plant seeds from the game he has hunted and convert them into healing potions. Really? However, no temporary or permanent potion has yet to be produced through the seeds. Although permanent potions seem to be the most powerful, don't forget about temporary potions. They come from different ingredients, so they don't use up the alchemist's precious resources, and their effects are really powerful. That's interesting.
Bez właściwego klucza nigdy tego nie otworzę.
Hey, you.
Hej, ty!
Who are you?
Kim jesteś?
Kimś, kogo nużą już te stale powtarzające się pytania. Czy wy, młodzi, nie macie czegoś lepszego do roboty od ciągłego zawracania mi głowy? Lokwar to, lokwar tamto, lokwar kim jesteś, lokwar boli mnie palec, lokwar mam sraczkę. Mam już tego serdecznie dość.
Let me ask you some more annoying questions. Are you familiar with herbs?
Znasz się na ziołach?
A myślałem, że to ja mam problemy z oczami na stare lata. Widziałeś ten ogród koło domu? Widzisz te wszystkie menzurki na półkach?
No...
No to znasz już odpowiedź. Naprawdę pytasz mnie, czy znam się na zielarstwie? Chłopcze, ja zęby zjadłem na tej sztuce.
No tak, po co pytałem, to było takie oczywiste.
Każdy mag,
I think it's
do
raining
jakiego
outside.
kręgu by nie należał, przynajmniej w pewnym stopniu musi wiedzieć, co go zabije, a co wzmocni. Ważenie i korzystanie z mikstur podczas tworzenia i rzucania zaklęć to podstawa.
I want to look outside real fast. Ew, look at that. It's regnet. I guess this is being enhanced by DX11 for like the water textures flowing across the rock surface and ground, all ripply and wavy like. This is mildly annoying though, because it it affects my visibility.
Hej!
Also interesting is that the rain sound completely disappears when the camera is inside. Okay. Not a big deal, but probably something that could have been done a little better.
Hej, ty! Naprawdę potrafisz czarować?
Jeśli pytasz o to, czy potrafię wyczarować pląsającego goblina z garncem złota, to nie masz na co liczyć. Ale czasami przyzwę sobie wietrzyk, żeby mi szybciej pranie wyschło.
Czym właściwie jest magia?
Mógłbym odpowiedzieć ci na to pytanie, ale...
Ale?
Ale jestem zmęczony. A ty, na moje oko, i tak nic z tego nie zrozumiesz.
Mógłbyś nauczyć mnie alchemii?
Żartujesz sobie, prawda? Życia by ci nie starczyło na poznanie całej wiedzy alchemicznej.
To może chociaż nauczyłbyś mnie jej podstaw?
Mógłbym, co prawda, nauczyć cię pewnych jej aspektów, ale najpierw musiałbyś przejść test.
Jaki test?
No, test. Czy sobie poradzisz, rzecz jasna.
Na czym miałby polegać taki test?
Prawdziwy alchemik powinien wykazać się wytrwałością w dążeniu do celu, sprytem w rozwikływaniu tajemnic natury i siłą w pozyskiwaniu trudno dostępnych składników. Jeśli pragniesz pojąć podstawy tej mistycznej sztuki, będziesz musiał wykonać 3 zadania.
I guess I'm ready.
Jestem gotów.
Skoro jesteś gotów, przejdźmy zatem do pierwszego testu. Wytrwałości. Weź tę miotłę i posprzątaj w domu.
Miotłę?
No, stary już jestem i plecy mnie rypią, a na służbę mnie nie stać.
Myślałem, że w ramach sprawdzianu będę musiał pozbierać zioła i takie tam.
Jeśli pragniesz pojąć wiedzę tajemną...
W porządku, zrobię to.
Świetnie. Jak skończysz, przyjdź do mnie, a powiem ci, co masz robić dalej.
3 works for the alchemist. An old mage, Lokvar, agreed to teach me the basics of alchemy if I do 3 tasks for him. I should start with sweeping off the floor in his hut. Sounds easy, but what does it have to do with alchemy? Yeah, it's all about, like, servitude and commitment and yada yada. Indicating that you are a... There it is. Okay, so action to equip and then forward to sweep animate.
Ej, ty.
Hey, you. Oh,
Pohandlujmy.
I meant to ask about having swept his hut. There must be more things to sweep. What's he got for, oh my goodness. I think these are like tutorial books. I should probably learn these at some point, because they give XP. Book about the beginnings of the village of Silbach. 5 volumes of that. And then a bunch of spell scrolls. Magic defense, fire defense, magic fire. Increases spell damage. That's kind of unique. Mana, magic fire, mana, then herbs and potions. That's kind of a neat potion there. Free fall damage. Okay. Oh, here's another spot. Makes sense, it would be right at the doorway. 3 works for the alchemist. Where did I sweep it into? Like under the rug? I swept the entire hut. There is no trace of dirt in front of the hut. Hey, you.
Ej,
I did what you asked.
zrobiłem o co prosiłeś.
Całkiem nieźle. Prawdę mówiąc, to myślałem, że nie dasz rady. Czas na kolejny test.
Co mam zrobić tym razem?
Pick the
Tym
weeds.
razem nie będziesz musiał niczego sprzątać. Zdobycie składników alchemicznych nierzadko będzie wymagało od ciebie sprytu. Tylko w ten sposób unikniesz starcia z czyhającą w zaroślach bestią, która bez problemów rozszarpałaby cię na strzępy. Wyobraź sobie, że jest nią Marta, gospodyni z tutejszej karczmy. a tajemnym składnikiem, który masz zdobyć, jest jej smakowity gulasz. Przynieś mi go cały garnek.
I myślisz, że odda mi go? Od tak? Ostatnim razem, gdy wchodziłem z nią w dyskusję, omal nie rzuciła się na mnie z miotłą.
Oczywiście, że nie odda ci go od tak. I o to w tym właśnie chodzi. Twoja w tym głowa, żeby cię nie zobaczyła.
Interesting. The Lokvar wants me to steal... he specifically wants me to steal a pot of stew from her. From Martha the innkeeper. Okay, I didn't even realize I was kind of doing a quest the first time I was in there. It's kind of interesting that he doesn't specify just get me the stew, but he's specifically saying steal it. Like, you would think that there would be a way to persuade her to give it to you or buy it from her, or they would give you options, like in a role-playing game sense. So it's curious that he specifically says steal.
Nie znam się na
I
otwieraniu
know
zamków.
nothing about picking locks. So if I had the lock-picking skill, I could probably snag it that way. And in fact, Martha's stew is now missing, so I don't have the opportunity to just steal it from there.
Hej! Pokaż mi swoje...
There's no recipe to make my own batch of Martha's stew.
Hej! Co nowego?
Nie denerwuj mnie. Nie dość, że muszę...
Well, that is a predicament. Where's Victor? Can I ask him about stew?
Hej, ty! Jak...
Od czasu śmierci Henry przyda...
I think I would have had zero opportunity to escape without her catching me the first time I did this. Because if the game set it up the right way, then this door would be locked and I would not be able to sneak out the back door. And then they would have had her positioned strategically so that no matter where I went, she would always catch me if I tried to go out the door.
Hey.
But the fact that I have no dialogue options to even ask about stew is concerning.
Hey.
Like, I can't ask, hey, can you make me another batch? Or I can't buy any, or... Like, do I need to get scavenger eggs for, Bastian? Before she'll make her next batch of stew? I don't think that's right. I don't have the I don't have the note anymore to read it.
Hey, ty!
So, yeah.
Hey.
I have no leads to go on right now. There's nothing logical that comes to mind. There's no physical bowl of soup that I can steal anymore. I can't talk to anybody about it. You don't know anything about the stew, do you? No. Do any of y'all know anything about her stew?
Jak się...
Jest mi już zdecydowanie.
None of y'all
Hey,
were
dude.
offered stew that I can have? Oh, I can tell Fabio to go back for Daryl and Myvan. Alright, I guess the only thing I can do is just talk to Lokvar and see if maybe he has any suggestions?
Ja.
Coś ty za...
I'm pretty stumped about it right now. No, there's just no hint. The only thing that I could think is that I need to find a recipe and brew it myself. So if I can't talk to any of them to ask for more stew or to buy any stew, then like what other options do I have? So that seemingly must be put on hold for the time being until I maybe stumble into a possible solution later. This guy wants to talk to me.
Jesteś tu nowy? Chyba cię tu wcześniej nie widziałem.
My name is Marvin, and I recently arrived on the island. Yeah, I'll be nice.
Nazywam się Marvin i niedawno przybyłem na wyspę.
Jestem Folkart. Swoją drogą wybrałeś kiepski moment na podróże.
Zdążyłem się już o tym przekonać, ale nie miałem dużego wyboru.
Uciekasz przed wojną?
Zgadłeś.
Jak większość przybyszów ostatnio, ale wcale wam się nie dziwię. Nastały niespokojne czasy i nie każdy ma ochotę ginąć za króla.
Czym się tutaj zajmujesz?
Pilnuję, żeby dzikie zwierzęta i nieproszeni goście trzymali się z dala od wioski. Od czasu, gdy mój zmiennik Rolf zaginął w czasie burzy, mam pełne ręce roboty.
Twój zmiennik zaginął?
Uparł się, że sprawdzi, czy w pobliżu starej łodzi rybackiej nie zostały jakieś zapasy. Przez te cholerne podtopienia każda beczka wina czy ryb jest na wagę złota. Od wczoraj nie ma po nim śladu. Poszedłbym go szukać, ale Albin nie pozwoliłby mi opuścić teraz wioski.
I really don't want to go looking for him, but I should say I will so that I can get the quest.
Może mógłbym sprawdzić, co się z nim dzieje.
Naprawdę zrobiłbyś to dla mnie?
For the right payment. This is like one of those decisions, isn't it? Where he'll give me a better reward if I don't ask for a reward? Is that what the game is doing to me?
Czemu nie? Mogę spróbować.
Masz czym się bronić?
Bronić?
Not really, no.
Okolice Silbach nie należą do bezpiecznych. Pełno w nich dzikiego zwierza, dlatego warto mieć choćby najprostszą lagę do obrony.
I have a sharp stick.
Coś by się przydało.
Weź ten miecz. Nie jest to może broń dobrej jakości, ale kretoszczura czy ścierwojada ubijesz.
Dzięki.
Janky. So...
Zastanawiam się, czy nie wolałbyś posługiwać się jakimś porządnym orężem, zamiast igiełkami, którymi nawet skóry topielca nie przebijesz. Gwarantuję, że za lekcję nie wezmę więcej od Paulusa, a jak za naukę posługiwania się ciężką bronią, to naprawdę mało.
Okay. He gave me a rusty sword, which does less damage than my stick. But I guess, you know, it has faster animations, and it's not even as good as the knife. Are you kidding me? The knife has armor piercing for whatever good that does. I mean, the rusty sword has better range. That's kind of the main benefit right now. Let's see what he wants for training.
Do roboty zatem.
Two-handed weapons at the similar price point. How are you doing?
Jak leci?
Cisza jak makiem zasiał. Trochę mnie to niepokoi, bo cisza zwykle zwiastuje burzę.
Jak leci?
Wszystko w porządku.
Gdzie znajduje się ta łódka?
Idąc drogą na południe, dotrzesz do mostu. Obok niego znajdziesz tę łajbę. Kiedyś służyła rybakom podczas połowów na jeziorze, ale od jakiegoś czasu jest punktem wymiany towarów między wioską a małą winnicą.
Jak wygląda Rolf?
To mały chłopak. Zgaduję, że nawet w twoim wieku. Ma spięte włosy, no i mięśniakiem to on nie jest. Jak wychodził, ubrany był w typowy wiejski strój bez rękawów.
So Rolf is missing on the path south towards the river, which I think is that way. And he's wearing a sleeveless shirt, youngish age, about my age. And he is not a muscle man. Very important to note that he is not a muscle man. I think I actually remember where to find him, but I don't really fancy leaving the village right now. Oh, let me not steal. I've already had my crime reported. Oh, what? Okay. I mean, I'm gonna reload my save here, but I want to see if I can talk to somebody about that.
Dobrze, że cię widzę. Podobno coś ukradłeś. Nie możesz tu odstawiać takich numerów. Wniosek? Ty płacisz i wszyscy zapominają o sprawie.
Ile?
50 sztuk złota.
I didn't even steal, I just looked.
Chcę zapłacić grzywnę.
Mądry chłopiec. Dopilnuję, żeby mieszkańcy o tym usłyszeli. Sprawę możemy uznać za załatwioną.
See, you don't know when you click on something if you're going to inspect or if you're going to open up a chest and be reported for stealing. So let me not look at Albin's sacks, and instead I'll look at Jill.
Ej, ty.
Na wszystkich bogów! Co ty wyprawiasz w mojej kuchni?
Przyszedłem zobaczyć, co takiego pichcisz.
W tej chwili próbuję ugotować pyszną potrawkę z dzika z warzywami, ale ktoś właśnie mi w tym przeszkodził. Gotowanie to prawdziwa sztuka, a jak każda inna, wymaga ona cierpliwości, precyzji i... Chwila. Czujesz to?
You gotta put out the fire.
O nie. Nie, nie, nie! Tylko nie to!
Smother it. There you go.
A wszystko to dzięki tobie.
A co ja mam z tym wspólnego?
To, że wparowałeś tu jak gdyby nigdy nic i oderwałeś mnie od pracy. Albin mnie zabije. Ale najpierw posiedzę parę dni w dybach, a dopiero potem zawisnę na gałęzi.
That's pretty severe. No one's gonna have you hanging from a branch for burning food.
Może mógłbym zdobyć dla ciebie nowe mięso.
Mięso z dzika? Ta, już to widzę. Nie wiem, jak miałbyś tego dokonać, ale zanim to zrobisz, smród rozniesie się po całym dworze, a wtedy nic mnie już nie uratuje.
Skoro jest tak źle, jak mówisz, to nie masz nic do stracenia.
Faktycznie. Nie mam. I tak jestem już martwa. Jeśli jakimś cudem uda ci się znaleźć kawał dziczyzny, przyjdź z nim do mnie natychmiast. Najpierw jednak chcę zobaczyć przed sobą kawał soczystego mięsa z dzika. Inaczej nie mamy o czym mówić.
Oh, matter of life and death. Good grief. Jill, the cook who works in Ramsey's Manor, is mad at me after I walked into the kitchen while she was making dinner. As a result, she burned her stew, which she's been preparing for the elder and his wife. I promised to bring her a juicy chunk of boar meat as pay. Now, where will I find a boar? Jill told me to hurry up because she's afraid of what the elder will say when he sees all that mess. So if the game is being clever, they would put me on a time limit of like 24 hours or something to find boar meat. I don't know what's going to happen to that, if there is a time limit or not, but obviously I don't know where to find boar meat. So if there is a time limit, I'm sure as hell not gonna accomplish it in time. Regardless of what you are fighting with, no weapon available for purchase can compare to the convenience of using a handcrafted weapon. Because they are made perfectly to one's body proportions, they almost always require the user to have less strength or dexterity to wield them effectively. In order to begin crafting your own weapons, you must first decide whether you want to pursue bow making, which involves the crafting of both bows and crossbows, or perhaps practice blacksmithing, which specializes in all things related to melee weapons. Once you've decided, find the right teacher. No book can replace practice under the guidance of an experienced master. Learning can be divided into 3 stages: beginner, advanced, master, each one more complex, yada yada yada. Recipes, purchase, there's a lot of useful information, but not stuff that I really need to know right now. And most of it seems like it's just kind of, this one in particular is stuff I already know, basically. So I could steal a silver chalice. Possibly. Is this going to be Gothic 3 style, where they notice stuff missing and then I get busted for it? Well, she just turns and notices me stealing it immediately. You can't notice that it's missing if you have eyes in the back of your head to see it being stolen immediately. Does she know that I steal this one? Wow, they are like super perceptive. This is another one of those things where like I don't like, there's probably a game balance reason, or they think that's being clever to bust you for these things, that way you can't just easily steal stuff when people aren't looking, but it's really not the best way to handle it, in my opinion. Because if they don't see you stealing it, you shouldn't get blamed immediately for the crime. Like, Gothic 3 at least kind of makes sense that when things go missing around town, if they don't catch you in the act, they suspect it's you. They kind of let you get away with some thievery for a little while and then bust you for it. And I have some issues with the actual implementation of that in Gothic 3, but something like that might have made more sense for this versus what makes no sense is for them to immediately know you've stolen something when they can't have seen or heard you do it. No matter if we develop strength, dexterity, magical knowledge, or weapon skills, further learning will require more sacrifice. No potions, amulets, or other magical trinkets can change this. Although they instantly strengthen the user, they do not affect his own development. One should not waste time removing amulets and rings before training. Even more so, one should not save potions that permanently enhance the body or mind until after one has reached the upper limits of abilities. Effects of those potions will then prove of little use in the perspective of many months spent on one's training output. Balanced development is important. Training only strength and ignoring the art of wielding weapons will never deliver the right blow. An archer who knows the secrets of archery and gutting game may benefit more by preparing goblin berries according to a cook's recipe than by spending years mastering alchemy just to make their potential for dexterity a little more efficient. Don't be afraid to experiment. Beginnings don't require much work and very often yield tangible benefits. However, think about what abilities you want to develop as much as possible. Devote yourself to them completely and you will surely become a master in your field. So the important thing to note is that it's basically telling you in more thematic, immersive terminology that your stats, like the costs for learning skills and increasing your stats, is not affected by rings or permanent potions, which is kind of a critical flaw in Gothic 2, specifically with Knight of the Raven. If you used permanent potions or stone tablets or other things that affected your stats early, it kind of hurt you in the long run because it counted against future costs to upgrade the skills and stats and things. So this mod is tracking that information separately, I think, for your base stats and upgrades. It's not demonstrating it now, but I think maybe, possibly, if I were to upgrade my strength with the belt or an amulet or something, it might say 10 plus 5 or something like that. Maybe. Point being, though, is that it's rectifying one of the critical flaws of the original systems from the Gothic 2, and that's good to see. Another book stand. Melee weapons can be divided into one-handed and two-handed. There is also a division into weapons requiring strength or dexterity. The division is as follows: one-handed strength swords and small axes, two-handed strength large axes and large swords, one-handed dexterity light swords and broadswords, two-handed dexterity long pikes and spears. Each weapon has its advantages and disadvantages, but strength always determines the additional power of the strike. Do not be fooled by pure strength, though. Dexterity weapons can be just as deadly, especially if we balance our training. Strength training can be extremely tiring and cost an incredible amount of work. Meanwhile, a warrior with a spear or sword develops both dexterity and strength. The former allows him to wield very handy weapons, while even simple strength training will increase the power of his blows. Regardless of the weapon, training is used in one or both handed is also needed. It allows to make... Regardless of the weapon, training in using it one or both-handed is also needed. It allows to make faster strikes, link them into combinations, and more often deliver accurate and stronger blows. Consciously choose what you feel most comfortable with. Don't be afraid to experiment, don't bet on the simple solutions, and you will surely become a great fighter. A little bit of weird syntax in that one, like that might not have been the smoothest translation. Anybody gonna get mad at me if I walk in here and read this? First, to use a bow, the hunter should develop his dexterity, while to wield a crossbow, strength will be required. Despite the difference in predispositions required to wield these weapons, each marksman can increase the damage dealt by his weapon by developing his dexterity. Dexterity is what influences the complex process of preparing the projectiles for firing and how much damage they will do in the end. However, this should not be confused with shooting skills. The skill with a bow or crossbow will primarily determine the accuracy and speed of the shots. A master will fire many more projectiles at a time while hitting targets much farther away from himself. Why crossbows are so popular? You should pay attention to the base power of the projectile fired from a crossbow. It is much greater than that of a bow. Due to the construction of the bolts and the speed at which it moves, it is extremely effective against heavily armored opponents. An often overlooked advantage of crossbows is their ability for a balanced development. A good crossbowman is someone who is strong enough to wield massive crossbows, but also skillful enough to inflict a lot of damage with them. Both bows and crossbows, even in the hands of a novice marksman, are capable of knocking a man down without killing him on the spot. However, if you need to make sure your enemy doesn't get up, you should carry even the simplest of melee weapons. So the important info here is that dexterity is added to ranged damage, and basically there's a saying that you will no longer kill people when you reduce their health to 0 with a ranged weapon, which is an important change from the previous Gothic games. However, I guess you cannot shoot someone while they're down to kill them. You have to stab them through the chest with a melee weapon. This might have been suggesting that the ammo does different damage, but it's not really indicating that mechanically on the stats screen. Maybe the armor piercing is a benefit to crossbows that would not be shown on bows. Anyone or anything else? Am I going to get reported for a crime if I open this door? I think I am.
Bez właściwego
Oh, I need
klucza
the
nigdy
key.
tego nie otworzę.
Somehow I snuck into there at one point in my first playthrough. A lot of valuable loot and trophies in there. Actually, I guess I should talk to Albin. I did not introduce myself. But first, I want to steal some wine and not get blamed for a crime because it was outside of the premises and not marked as a owned property. Hey, you.
Hej!
Zgaduję, że masz bardzo ważny powód, by mi przeszkadzać. Ostatnio sporo was, obcych, się tutaj przewija. Na nasze nieszczęście. Jestem Albin i pełnię obowiązki starszego tej wsi. To ja podejmuję najważniejsze decyzje podczas nieobecności miłościwego Sir Ramseya. Pozwól, że dam ci pierwszą ważną lekcję. Niech ci nawet nie przyjdzie przez myśl dotykanie czegokolwiek, co nie należy do ciebie. Jeśli cokolwiek ukradniesz, choćby miała to być wyrwana z czyjegoś pola przegniła rzepa, dowiem się o tym i będziesz za to przede mną odpowiadał.
Jakie prawa panują w Silbach?
Jesteś na terytorium Królestwa Myrtany, więc obowiązują tu takie same prawa jak w innych jego częściach. Wszelkie przestępstwa, takie jak kradzież, wtargnięcie i morderstwo, są surowo karane. Ponadto niektórzy mieszkańcy wyspy i obywatele miasta mają szereg dodatkowych praw. Ale skoro nie jesteś ani jednym, ani drugim, ciebie te przywileje nie obejmują. Weź tę broszurę. W niej znajdziesz wszystkie niezbędne informacje.
He's got a brochure for me. Look at that. A statute of the village of Silbach. Charter of Rights and Obligations, Silbach, Villagers and Newcomers. Following offenses are subject to a fine: theft, regardless of the value or size of the item. Regardless of the value. Okay, well that's saying that if you steal a rotten turnip from a field, you'll get penalized for it, but they're not saying that you'll get a 50 gold flat fee for stealing something worth 1,000 gold, I think. Picking fights except honorable duels or self-defense, attacking livestock, distribution of illegal goods. What is considered an illegal good? Murder. According to Myrtanian tradition, witnesses to a murder are entitled to immediate punishment. What? Murder. According to Myrtanian tradition, witnesses to a murder are entitled to immediate punishment. But if the perpetrator gets away with it, they can pay a fine as compensation. I think that's saying if I kill somebody, people who witnessed it are okay to murder me. But if I run away or survive, then I pay a fine. It's kind of a really loosey-goosey way of trying to justify the game mechanics. Following offenses do not count toward the fine, but they do allow the victim use of self-defense. So breaking into a home without an owner's consent. An exception is made for commercial premises marked with appropriate signs. Touching things, even if there has not yet been a theft, which I was guilty of. Provoking fights by drawing weapons or magic. You are also advised that all charges must be dropped if no eyewitnesses can testify to the offense. Wait a minute. That is incorrect.
Jak się mają sprawy?
Chyba nie osiadłeś na laurach, co? Znajdź sobie kolejne zajęcie.
I meant to look at this. It said the following offenses do not count towards the fine, but they do allow the victim to use self-defense. And then it says touching trunks and containers even if there has not been a theft. He tried to charge me 50 gold for looking at his chest earlier. Well, something doesn't add up there.
Co powinienem wiedzieć o tym miejscu?
Wioska Silbach leży we władaniu szlachetnego Ser Ramzeja, którą sam król Myrtany ofiarował jego rodzinie wiele wieków temu. Od upadku królewskiej floty wieś pełni funkcję spichlerza całego Archolos, o czym gubernator i jego ludzie przywykli zapominać. Mimo że obowiązuje tu prawo myrtańskie, za swe przewinienia odpowiadasz w pierwszej kolejności zgodnie z lokalnym prawem przed Ser Ramzejem, którego reprezentuje.
Gdzie mogę spotkać Ser Ramzeja?
Wielmożny Ser Ramzej obecnie przebywa w mieście. Ale nawet jeśli jakimś cudem go tam spotkasz, to wątpię, żeby chciał poświęcić ci czas.
Jak się mają sprawy?
Chyba nie osiadłeś na laurach, co? Znajdź...
There's not a lot of actually useful dialogue from him. I remember there being like a fairly substantial quest with him to like vouch for all the other newcomers, all the other refugees that I came here with. Something about like getting everyone working to contribute to society or something to that effect. But I did not trigger that dialogue. So who knows when I'll be able to get that going. Oh, well, didn't get that ledge. Is there a rat falling on me? Yes, there is. Oh dear. Come on. You can get up this ledge. It's not that difficult. Ay, 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 ay. There we go. No, no, don't fall off. Thank you. A leather bellows. There are a few coins clinking inside. Well, that's worth it. What is this key? That's for my bedroom in the inn. Alright. So... yeah, I did not need to climb up that ledge to get here. could have just walked around. But there is certainly going to be something of interest this way. Like a healing route, and if I remember right, field raiders and an abandoned hut? Some sort of building up there. Let's see how well I can handle field raiders with a rusty sword. Can I get just one, please? Alright. I'd kind of like to get this guy pinned on the wall. Oh god. Damn, they hit hard. They hit really hard. Like, that was not a crit, was it? Or was that just a normal hit that knocked out 50 or 60% of my health bar? I missed. Alright, so that did hurt like hell. But I at least killed it. I don't know what I have to eat that will, could eat the herb stew. The digger meat. That's a classic. I've got 64 health, so a couple of those would heal me up. Let's see if I can kill these others. These other field raiders without dying or getting hurt too badly. I'd like to get just one. Alright, now if I can time this better. I didn't get it right. Damn it. What I'm trying to do is strafe to the side and then kind of attack him from the flank and get him pinned up against the wall. And so far, I'm not having very good luck with the timing of this. And part of that is the annoying block thing that keeps happening to me. And then I get a horrendous lag spike anytime I turn the camera, which completely messes up my timing. Like, my frame rate counter is showing 70, 107, 112, 119 right now. Over 100, and then I turn here, and then it drops to, like, it says 70. But it's gotta be lower than 70 in that moment when it's making the transition, because it just, like, I can't keep up with it. Oh my god, they're so fast. No, not both of them. I'll just die now. These fights are winnable. I just need to not screw it up. No, come here. So the trick is just constant offense. Just push forward. Light delay on the second strike, so that way it can't retaliate. Good grief. Really don't have a lot of good options for healing. And this is another thing that kind of bugs me from what I remember is... like, there's different types of meat for every single creature in the game, which just creates a lot of clutter where you've got 12 different types of meat that are in 2 different states of either fried or raw, and like just trying to juggle all that and keep track of everything, like, That seems like it's going to get really annoying the more I get into the game. Damn it. Yep, didn't delay the attack adequately there. That's an interesting load screen. It'd be really nice if I could get into this fight without getting whacked right at the start. So that way I can have some room for error. Oh no. Did I forget to save after killing that second one? Or did I load the wrong save file? Here it is. I'm stuck. Alright, let's just come at me. Oh, he missed.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
See how easy that is? You just gotta do the controls right and get a little bit lucky with the enemy behavior, that it doesn't do anything crazy like circle around you at a super fast speed, or you don't do anything weird like try to backstep after an attack, which causes you to block instead of move. And like, I really don't remember that being an issue with the other Gothic games. Especially Gothic 2, like I had that muscle memory locked down with being able to you know, attack and block and backstep fairly effectively. So I don't know why this game seems to be throwing a lot more of those misfired inputs at me. Okay. What do we have going on up here? I hear a lurker. I really don't want to fight a lurker. Oh, God. Is the lurker going to detect me in here and come corner me? I don't want that. Watch this be a locked chest, and then I came all the way up here for nothing. Although, there is a magic knowledge of the second circle, volume 3. Yeah, I know nothing about picking locks. So now I have to remember that the top of the hill behind the governor's manor is a locked chest. But I do have the Magic Knowledge Second Circle Volume 3, the third volume of 3. It's in a deplorable state. I don't know the previous circles first, so this is another thing I remember, is learning magic in this game is kind of random. Because from what I remember, it's... you don't necessarily just go to a trainer and say, hey, can you teach me the first circle of magic? You have to instead hunt down these books that are just kind of spread over the map, and you don't know where to find them, so it's just kind of random luck if you happen to go to the right place at the right time to find what you want. So that's kind of annoying. I hope there's a better way to learn magic than having to go through that process, because that would be just a real buzzkill to be so heavily dependent on randomly stumbling into something. Let's see, so I think I know where to find Rolf. I'm just completely stumped on what to do for Martha's stew. Technically, I have a healing potion, even if it's not the one that Victor wants me to get. I could try talking to Rupert and see if I can at least get a dialogue prompt to say, hey, I have a healing potion. I do have a healing potion. Alright, that's kind of cool. So I could advance that quest. And then Seeking Refuge is still go talk to Kurt, so I'll find a boar for Jill. Who knows where I'll find a boar? Probably outside of town, maybe out the south gate. But since it is now nightfall, I think I will go back to bed. So that way I can get a little bit more daylight for my exploration. And I'm thinking this might actually be a good place to end this episode. I've kind of explored most of this upper area in town, just except for like that little fishing village area back there, which I'm kind of avoiding doing because I don't want to trigger the main quest just yet until after I've done a little bit more preliminary stuff. So I think I'll end it here with the intention of doing the quest with Rupert to go back for Myvan and Daryl, so get the rest of my crew figured out. And in the process, I can continue exploring the rest of the town in the next session. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check again the playlist for the next episode, and I'll talk to you in that one.